Just to get started. Oh, just to get started. My name is Sean Hyland, and my business revolves around innovation and efficiency in business. So generally, I have two types of clients: a small business where it's about systems and more efficient systems and developing them. And for larger companies, it's usually around collaboration and communication. But today we're going to have a look at a relational database called Airtable. We already use it here. We're using it right now to record who's here, and how a relational database can help you manage your business in a more efficient way. So A, there's an efficiency piece. B, there's a piece about looking at your processes and, are we doing things we shouldn't be doing? Is there stuff we should be doing we're not doing? That kind of thing. So we'll kind of review that. There's a management alignment piece. And then we actually create a system that manages the whole thing. And that system is also capable of very detailed analysis, so you understand your business a lot better. So what I'm going to look at today, I've recently completed a system for a real estate agent. And the system has actually won an award there a couple of weeks ago. I can't say anything about it yet. So the award has been won not by me but by the estate agent for the innovation she's done. So, but it's completely based on the system we've designed. So I've kind of taken some pieces from that, dumbed them down, and I'm just kind of going to show you the kind of stuff that can be done within a relational database. And if you have any questions then afterwards, you can just ask me. So can you all see my screen there? Yeah. So what we're looking at here is the relational database. What it means is it's a number of small databases, and what they can be linked to each other. And when that happens, it'll be very, very powerful. So on the outside here, it looks like a spreadsheet, but in actual fact, a lot of very, very powerful stuff can be accomplished by linking the different parts of the business. So what we're looking at in any business is information comes in, you do stuff with it, and then there's outputs. It's as simple as that for any business. And that data and how that's managed is the place where we sit. And these relational databases are very effective in managing that. So if you want to look, say, at the properties here, these are 4 fictional properties. We're going to have a look at this one here, 37 Rimini Lanes. It's actually in California, but we're saying it's in Dublin for the purposes of this. But so you collect information about the property, and that sits in your system. And this system can also store attachments, so you can actually use it as your storage system. So it not only manages your business, but it stores all the documents that you might need. So in terms of this property here, you can see the property type, we're giving it a code. We've connected it, so you can see there's a vendor here, and these are all the vendors. These are the people that are selling these properties. And so we've connected them. And once we've connected them, that means that we can use both sets of data to achieve something in terms of our process. And then we have a status. So these properties the status will change. This is the status, some of the status options in the estate agents that we set it up for. Then we've got some information on the property, notes on the property. We need BER, we need photographs, and we've got a sales process. And so it is a very important point, because one of the things we want to do is to make sure that everybody in the company knows what the process is and does things in the same way, the exact same way. So it's kind of standardizing the way the company does business. In a lot of small companies, that can be a problem. So again, here's some more information. This is the kind of stuff, local schools, exactly, etc., that will be gone up on the DAFT website. So it's all collected at the very beginning. Now, the beauty of this is there's different types of ways you can look at this information, but one of them is to create a form. So you can create this property information form and send it out to the landlord. So 2 things are happening here. Number 1, you're not having to input the information, which is saving you time. And number 2, there'll be less mistakes because the person that's selling the property is actually inputting it, and they're uploading the BER cert, and they're filling in this kind of information for you, and that will populate the overall base. Then we spoke about the sales process there. You can put in another type of way of looking at the information is a Kanban. And you know, a lot of people be familiar with Trello, and this is kind of very similar to it. So you have here actually all the different elements or the different sequential pieces of your process. And so you could have, say, 100 or 200 different records in here, and you can move them all around. And so it's a great way of overviewing what's going on inside your business. And then it needs to happen in this sequence, and that's what standardizes it. The other thing we can do in terms of these sequences is we can have certain things happen. So when say when it comes in first, it's uncategorized. So say this property here. So valuation carried out. When I move it across there, I can actually send all the information via an automation to a valuer to arrange the valuation. So there's lots of automations and integrations that can be triggered by the movement in terms of the process here. I hope I'm not confusing people. Another way you can look at a property is in a gallery. So these are the different properties. And if you open up any of these, it's got all the information inside. Every single record also has the activities recorded. So those of you who need compliance, every single thing that happens at a property and the date it happened, the exact time it happened, is recorded. And also, if you're working in a team, you can use this comment section. Well, you can use it either to take like private notes or to have a conversation with a member of your team about this particular record. So that's the properties. There's a field here on the vendors, which are connected to the properties. And the first thing you want to do is set up some viewings. So we're interested in this property here. And there's two viewings set up here on the 26th of May and the 8th of June. And the next thing we need in is the viewers. So what generally happens is most of the leads come in through Daft. And so I've set up an automation for them so that when they come into Daft, they automatically come over here. So there's no duplication. There's all the information comes right in. The ones that aren't suitable, they can get rid of straight away. And the ones that are suitable, they connect them to one of them viewings. So you can see I've got a connection here between the viewers and the viewings. So so I'll just take this one off here. So I'm going to decide that this person is going to come into one of my viewings. So I'll say this one here. What I've actually done there has triggered an automation. And that automation is up here. And that's saying viewing time for the viewer. That's an automation I've created. So when I just connected that person to the viewing, they got an email from us, standard email, to tell them that a viewing has been arranged, and it's got all the details of it, including who's going to be there to show them the property and any notes about the property. So there's a lot of stuff here that would have been done by email and telephone that are now just automated. They don't even worry about it. As soon as they pick a viewing for that person gets a reminder and an email. So also when they're given their email, and this is something new. So one of the things about these type of, it's not just about, savings and efficiency, but also having an edge over your competitors. So one of the things that this particular estate agent wanted to do was to have a transparent system for the bidding so that all the registered bidders could see all the other bids and follow along in real time. So that's something we added in here. And so when you view the property, we've decided that only people who view the property could bid. So when they got their email about coming to the viewing, they also got a link to create themselves as a bona fide bidder. And that's a different, you can see the form is here. So they would fill out this form. So we're looking for proof of identity. We want to make sure they're real people, that they're real bidders. We want to make sure that they have the money to buy the property, because we don't want them bidding, maybe jacking up the price of a property and then not being able to get the finance. So once they've completed this and we approve them, then they will get a code, like it could be bidder 1, bidder 2, bidder 3 for whatever property, and they can put bids on the property, and they can they can watch all the bids going on. So this, for example, is how they place a bid. So they get a link here, they put in their bidder code, they pick the property. So we'll just put it in here, show on here for a second. Oh, sorry, I can't do it from in here. Sorry. I'll show you this in a second. So they put in the bid, they pick the property. They might put a note in there if they want to, if they've got some sort of, if the bid is subject to something, and they submit it, and in it comes into our bids here. So these are 3 bids that have come in here. So 2 of them have come in from bidder 4. The bidder 1 can see that bidder 4 has put 2 bids on, and bidder 4 can see that bidder 1 has put them on. The exact time the bids are put on is also available to them, and the status. So if I was to put a bid on that property right now, within a second, it would be up here, and the other bidders will be able to see what's going on. And then at some stage, when the client is happy, you'd choose to end the bidding. And so you'd say, we're going to close down this portal at 12 o'clock tomorrow. Whoever has the highest bid at that stage gets the property. That could be the way that it ends. And all the way right through, everyone can see where the bidding's going. They can also, when you can see, say, you might say who's putting on the most bids, how much are they putting on at a time? There's a bit of psychology in it, and they'll be able to have complete transparency about what's going on. And so will the person that's selling the property. I think that there has been a problem with the reputation of some estate agents in terms of, maybe making up a bid to try and push the properties and all that. And this is one way of getting over that, so that everybody can see what's going on. And we have another base here, which is the sales team. So for example, when we set up an offer, we'd pull in one of the sales team that's going to be on that, and it will pull in their phone number and their email address should you want to get in touch with them. So I'm just going to finish up here. So you've got your vendors, your properties, your viewings, your viewers, your bidders, your bids and offers, and your sales team. They're the various elements. We've put them onto one base. We've got them all speaking to each other. We've got some automations that take away and create time for the people that work there. And we also have some interactions. So with the vendors here, actually, is it here in the properties? Hang on a second. We have, sorry, just one second. Don't see it there. Yeah. So we have a button on the screen here. So say, for example, you're a vendor and you're interested in coming to us to sell a property. We'll press a button, and our terms and conditions with all your information will go out to you by email. And once you agree that them terms and conditions, you sign it, it goes back, and a letter of engagement goes out. This whole system now, which is done manually, phone and email, is now done by the system itself. The girls in the office don't even know what's going on with it until, well, they get advice from the system. But I mean, they don't have to follow it up. And when everything is signed, you can see here, create a T&C document. Once that's pressed, off it goes. When it's signed, it'll actually come back into the Airtable. So you're keeping all the records in one place. And the system is starting to do some of the work that's just, it's not the most important work, but it takes a lot of time. So that's generally it. I kind of just giving you a flavor of it, how it might work. And this is, say, Airtable is one of a number of softwares that I use, but it's certainly my favorite at the moment. So that's it for me. If anybody has any questions.
Sean, I think that's great. And I think anybody who has